back. Also, we've seen progressive tactics that was example Oops using, and they were just pushing with autoloaders while capping frontal, taking out any kind of spotter tanks, so they initially won the round within 90 seconds or so on. So it's just based on decision of the team. But let's see here, Utopia plays with Type 5, a mouse, 257s, as I pretty much expected. There's this defensive round, and they will do the control of that cap.
It's going to be an interesting one to see. Utopia, they're going to be on the blue side. Savage Squad's going to be on the red. Sorry, my bad. Utopia on the red side. Savage Squad on the blue side.
Interesting. Zet is not playing again.
Zet's not playing, so it's
probably
Sky,
their best player.
Sky 1 in for him just now. So Zet being one of the main damage dealers for Ski 1, sorry, Sky 1. And for Savage Squad as a substitute. They're not one of the starting players that we've seen throughout the regular season.
I don't know, was it Ski who was playing?
Ski earlier on.
Who was playing Type 5 on Ruinberg when they played it, if I remember well. I'm not really sure, against Kazna. They lost that round, but he did almost 8,000 damage.
Yeah, he was playing against Kazna.
Yeah, but was he playing a Type 5? I think he was. I can't remember.
It was when you and Daki were casting, yeah. So, Savage Squad moving forward here, they have the black and yellow camouflage. Utopia have that really awesome urban blue camouflage. Just kind of taking up positions here. Danny hovering south of base 2. And, well, this is quite an aggressive, well, not in a way aggressive, but an interesting push here from Utopia to come all the way down south. Kind of like they're expecting Savage to push into them.
Yeah, because there is only one 113 who can actually enter that lower cap and maybe a botshot, but you never do that. So they were expecting more presence here. Papa Pavian is climbing now to his sniping position if anyone actually tries to harass them. I'm not sure that he actually make it because I can't really well see him here, but it does look he has the altitude and he's up here. And the rest of the guys from Utopia are just playing stick together team tactics. They're just waiting to see what will Savage Squad do because they really have no reason whatsoever to move anywhere.
Utopia going with this triple T57 lineup here. A lot
It's
of
very
damage.
risky.
A lot of damage that can be put out, but they really need to make sure that they can, you know, get that full clip out and even survive perhaps to get a second clip out, because if they go down before getting the clip out, then that is a lot of, well, fail basically.
57s reload rather quickly. It's like 20-21 seconds for their full clip when you have all the perks and cola and stuff. So they're really good DPM machine. They shoot heat ammo, so they can penetrate the mouse armor and so on. But they're not that mobile. They're definitely not that mobile, and if they don't pen all the shells, then there is still that gap of 20+ seconds where they can be focused, because they are not really good at running away. Now Latencer is just triggering the cap a bit here to see is there anyone spotting it yet. Now this is a real play here coming in by Savage Squad. Dani will come on corner, and I believe there will be a full rotation by their team coming on that side. And we need to see how actually Utopia deal with this, because they must have some kind of plan. They have all heavies except Leopard. Leopard is there just to relieve them of cap pressure in one moment.
Yeah, it's looking like Utopia are perhaps going to try and allow Savage to start positioning up into the base and then come around the back of them. The danger is they need to make sure they time this correctly, because if they get spotted out and Savage perhaps try and do a rush or turn around and fight, it could end up quite badly for Utopia. So a lot of this is going to come down to positioning and just trying to get an idea of where Savage Squad is. Latenza could be really important here actually for Savage Squad.
Well, we see Luti Paolo is gonna enter the cap now. He's playing 113, so he has a thicker turret. If he played the VZ, it would be rather easy to pen him for Papa Pavian. This is going to be a bit harder, and there is still some rubble there to protect him. There is rotation coming in from Utopia from the back side. They are ignoring completely that botcha. They can't really push Latencer, but they already gave him a peck on a cheek.
Steroids gets spotted out, gets shot as he drives through. A shot there from Freedom and his AMX-50B. Raven's in the same position. Bihu wants to shoot back. Actually gets the connection with Raven, forcing them back. Bihu's going to cover that area, so the next person that peeks is going to get shot at him by Bihu. Cap is going on still at the moment. 1 minute and 27 seconds here. Now Utopia starting to slowly move up through the middle of the map. You can see the rest of the tanks come up here, and Savage Squad are kind of pinned in together in a corner. Danny and his mouse now moving into cap along with Luti Pavo, and he's going to draw Papa Pavin's attention, but all the capture points here with Luti in that area.
Danny is leaving the cap now. He was just using this to pressure a bit more to Utopia so they progress. but they knew they don't have to. So there is still 60 seconds for the cap. That's a lifetime on a map like this.
Lutti still surviving now, but he doesn't have any cover. Raven peeking on that area where he is getting shot. Now Freedom and Lutti also getting shot, so there is a cap reset coming in there from Papapavin. Utopia just kind of positioned around the middle of the map here. They were being kind of pinned in, preventing them crossing from this area from Freedom and Raven and also Latenza.
Another shot coming in on Lutti here from, I believe, again, Papapavian. So he's doing his job. He's keeping the cap pressure off the Utopia, so Utopia does not have to do any kind of progressive action. They're just keeping the Savage Squad team in line, in check, so they can deal with them in one moment when they decide. Nice connections.
Nice angle here from Shoku coming round the side as well. Steroids also providing a bit of covering fire with Papapawan onto the base 1 area. Now he can start to back off because he knows the rest of Savage Squad are backing off. And well, Savage Squad's cap tactic is gone. Looks like they're going to position themselves for a good old-fashioned fight, Mojo. 2000
damage advantage here, HP advantage here for Utopia, but some of their tanks will be in reload now. If Savage Squad manages to attack them in right moment, they will have a chance. But at the moment, they are just bleeding all over the place and they're getting shot to pieces one by one. A shot here, a shot there, a shot here, a shot there, and there we go.
You can hear the shots continuing to fire in and out. Mucka now stuck in this corner because they had the push coming through from the heavier tanks of Savage Squad. But it's this area where Freedom and Raven is quite a vital area. It's holding them down. Shoku now, there's a flank all the way round from Lutti coming round in the Batchat, trying to, sorry, the 113. My bad, Latenza, sorry, seen the L there. Getting shots into Shoku and Hunty. So Hunty, a substitution here for Utopia. Was he the new guy that just came in recently?
Yes, he's a new player that Utopia registered recently. So we're going to see what is his performance, because I really don't know any history about him, what he played.
Yeah. Okay, so Utopia starting to send Papapawa now. He's came down off that 1-2 area, doesn't need to capture the cap circle, and perhaps can get a drop onto Latenza here if they're counting Latenza's shots.
Oh, look at that angle on the tank. Such a small hole, and he managed to connect Shuko again. So Shuko is the only one who is getting farmed by Latencer here in Savage Squad, otherwise the difference in HP would be much bigger, and this is the problem when you don't have a single mobile tank. Latencer is pretty much doing the free damage here. There is no one to pressure him. Papapavian actually abandoned the upper position on a cap so he could control the Batchat. So the cap is open again, but there is only 3 minutes left. They know it, so that's why they don't care. 1-on-3 is on low HP. They also know that. That's why they care even less. So they know if needed, they can push someone, just decap and be done with the game.
Yes, Savage Squad not looking like they have a plan B here. We're down to 2 minutes 40 on the clock. Defense for Utopia, they can happily run down the clock because when it hits 0, that counts as a win for the defensive team. So if Savage Squad are going to want to win this one, they're going to have to decide at some point when are they going to push into Utopia, because otherwise Utopia are just going to happily sit back and say, well, lads, clock's in our favour. And this looks like perhaps the push coming up as Ski1 and Alpha pushing up here, trying to get shots into Hunty and Mucka, but Mucka and Hunty actually doing really well to preserve their HP and continue to avoid the shots. Just as I say that, though, Hunty takes one to the face.
Shuku needs to be careful here. That's why he is really paying attention when he's peeking. He's on one shot. Leopard is coming in the back. He's going to decap. He's going to decap for Utopia. Utopia still has the game under control, but it is only 1k advantage here now, and it's for Savage Squad. But the time is ticking away, and that's the main problem. They will not have the firepower, I believe, to kill Utopia. And they will not cap, definitely.
Papapawa will be able to get all the way around the map now. He's up at C0 with shots into the rear end of Lutti. Steroids drops Latenza. Danny drops Steroids in return. So that's a 5A for a Batchat. Savage Squad losing that rotation they had from that tank. Shoku now also picks up Alpha. Savage Squad kind of just running out of time here to try and force this fight, Mojo.
Yeah, they managed to equal the HP, but still they're not doing any significant progress. And Szczepanik is still almost full on HP, so there is no real... Oh, never mind that.
Kiss of death there, Mojo. Kiss of death.
Never mind that one.
As Szczepanik takes a combination shot there from Danny and from a tank to his right-hand side as well. Papapawan might be the tank who can make all the difference here, because he actually has the most HP almost for his team. Only Biku and Mucka have slightly more. Now, tanks dropped either side. We have lost another 5A for Utopia. Savage Squad have lost a mouse. They've lost 2 mouse now and the Batchat. And like I says, they just don't seem to have enough HP to be able to continue to trade this fight with only 43 seconds left on the clock.
Szczepanik is playing really sloppy there, one-on-one, losing a lot of HP there to Danny. Danny managed to drop him. Papapavian is now running away because he is chased by Freedom at 50B, who can actually kill him. But 30 seconds. Now they know if Papa Pavian just runs away, that's enough. I would say this is even a sloppy game by Utopia in one moment. Those 57s didn't prove as a great advantage for them. And they need to just hold on to the ground so they can survive until the ticker goes away.
Biku holding off Raven and Danny here at the top of the map. Luti coming round to try and get a kill into Shoku. They are 1 for 1, so whoever wins that one. And actually, Mucka drops Danny, Shoku drops Luti, Biku drops Raven, and all of a sudden, Savage Squad have only one tank left. But it doesn't matter because the clock has ran out. Defensive win, and well, that one went a lot closer than it needed to be.
Yeah, it was the pick of Utopia.
Yeah.
It was the pick. So Latencer could pretty much free roam, find angles to shoot them, and he did it well. But in one moment, simply Savage Squad had to do something. They lost a lot of HP on that 1-on-3, so the cap was not really good. They didn't leave any 50B behind to hold off Papavian because they expected him to still be up, not behind them. So they didn't expect him to come from that angle. That was good play by Utopia. That pretty much what saved them the round because the guy with most HP had to chase Papavian, and he had 4 shells, and they really needed him in a city again. So they work out. Still, one game for Utopia, they can be happy about it.
Biku doing almost 5k damage there and also picking up 2 kills, so great performance there for him, for his team. Now Utopia are going to be the team on the defense. It's going to be, no, sorry, Utopia are going to be on the attack. It's going to be Savage Squad on the defense. It's going to be interesting to see what Utopia do for this. Not really known for doing any kind of like rush tactics, Utopia really, are they?
Well, I haven't seen them much do it lately, but I think they can. They're perfectly able to do it. They have the player potential, so why not? Maybe exactly against Savage Squad, who is not really known for defense of Ghost Town.
True. I mean, Savage Squad themselves are known for being a bit YOLO. We have heard the team comms, especially here on Ghost Town, with Danny saying, you know, the YOLO works, boys. That was when they were on defense, and was that they were on attack, and they took a double fosh.
Yeah, but also they
just bullied the enemy team.
That was oops. And Savage Squad actually has 20% defense on Ghost Town, so that's not really remarkable, while Utopia has 70 in attack. So they're doing much better than in defense there.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of teams actually are doing much better in attack than on defense.
They've both played it a lot, so they both know what to expect here, but I mean, in the past you would give it to Utopia based on experience, but Utopia, I mean, they've been a bit ropey. They've lost their last 2 games. Savage Squad, every time Savage Squad play, you think they're going to be hungry. You think maybe this is the one that Savage Squad can actually win. I mean, they took Kazna tiebreaker and defeat them. Can Savage Squad win a match cleanly?
Yeah, it's all fine, but Utopia lost 2 matches against really hard teams, against Kazna and Gohard. And this is not the same level. Like Savage Squad, no matter what kind of potential they would like to have, they still have only 4 points compared to 17 of Utopia. And there is a huge level of experience and skill and difference between them.
And look at this from Utopia. Everyone coming down south to come down to this southwest corner. When I was talking about it, I said northeast corner because that was the way we were looking at the map. But actually, when you see it on the map here, it's
interesting is that we see an STRV climb now on A1. That's not a usual thing. Usually we see a Leopard or a Batchat. So this is something new coming in a bit by Savage Squad. Yes, it was used before, but still not something we see very often.
We had a Failware climbing up there and a 50B on Thursday as well. So interesting seeing teams bring out different stuff for similar positions.
Very laid-back positions here for Savage Squad. They're more prone to counter-attack to Utopia than to really fight them head-on anywhere. They still do have 3 super heavies, 2 mouse tanks, Sky1 and Alpha, and Danny in Type 5 heavy. Danny is on his standard position where they defend, so he can pick out and reset the #1 cap in that Type 5, because it doesn't matter if it's an I7 on everyone inside, he can benefit Type 5.
Shupanic taking ages to line up a shot there onto Ski 1. He does connect a shot, but takes 2 in return for that. Shoku also taking a bit of damage here in Utopia. Papawan also. Teams now just kind of positioning, feeling their way out. This kind of murder death ball from Utopia sitting down south of the map. Not really doing much here, Mojo, are they?
No, Utopia is at the moment just trying to fill out where is the entrance here for Savage Squad so they can do the pressure. Now the good thing for Savage Squad here, they already made 1k advantage, so that's cool. And they have Latencer, so they can do the rotations against Bihu of Utopia. So they have the potential to hold off the cap, Savage Squad, and they're looking really good now. This is actually probably the best defense they performed so far on Ghost Town. Now we need to see what kind of response will Utopia have. Like, will they try to commit and fight? Because I think actually Savage Squad is decently positioned to deal with that. Or they're going to try to do some kind of cap pressure. At the moment, #1 cap looks to me like a pure suicide.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Danny up there and he's Type 5 heavy. We've seen this before multiple times in Savage Squad. Danny's sitting there ready to reset anything if it comes in. Utopia still putting all their eggs now in one basket down south.
They're going to push,
Mojo.
definitely.
It looks like for sure a push coming in here. Biku's coming over to join them. Nobody else anywhere else on the map for Utopia. So they're going to group up. They're going to try and get something here. Latenza can always just drop down into K2 and go all the way down into that dugout if anything happens to him. Freedom and Ski 1 can just back off. Same with Luti Pavlo. And, well, Utopia can take that bottom corner, that bottom left corner, but okay, I mean, Savage Squad should be able to rotate out of this if they see it coming.
Savage Squad cannot really rotate because they have a lot of super heavies, and Danny will need time to reach the fight. STRV also needs to move a bit more. So if Utopia plays their cards well and they lure out some damage on heavy tanks, then Bihu can just pretty much freely approach and kill Latencer, because Latencer will lack shells. And Bihu will be in that defilate on J1, and no one will be able to shoot him. Absolutely no one except Latencer. So if Latencer is lacking one shell and Bihu is full, he's dead. But it does look to me exactly like that is the plan of Utopia. So they're gonna sacrifice a lot of HP to deal with this, to have a tank more, to apply more damage to other guys, and then the only play they can have after that is maybe cap #2. 5 minutes and 30 seconds, so the time is a really important factor still.
Yeah, Utopia need to start making some kind of plays. It looks like they're going to send triple mouse here, Hunty, Shoku, and Shipanic. Up over here, only Alpha can get shot in as they start moving up, so they're going to start going into the cap circle, applying a bit of a distraction at the same time. Papa Palvin, Steroids, and what also looks like Mucka are going to move around the other corner, trying to get a pincer here onto Alpha. Are they going to go hyper-aggressive here on Alpha, Mojo, or are they just going to try and triple cap and bait out the rest of the Savage Squad?
That's just a bait. Triple cape by Mouthpiece is just a cape because you need to make Savage Squad move out of their positions. And there is like damage now coming in from Alpha, from the other heavy tanks of Savage Squad. But the real deal, what I'm saying is, we need to watch Bihu and Latencer. What's going to happen there?
Look at this hit squad of the triple mouse coming in behind here to get shots into the back of Alpha, who's caught a bit in the crossfire, but he does have still a lot of HP left in him. And the return fire coming out into Shipanic, you know, he has to be danger because there's tanks coming in. Raven's now coming off the hill as well. He wants to get involved in this fight. Steroids nearly dropped here for Utopia, down to 122 HP, but it's actually Savage Squad have lost 2 tanks already. They've lost Freedom's 50B, they've lost Alpha and the Mouse, and Utopia have only lost Shipanic and the Mouse.
And as I said, Bihu is now pushing on Latencer. He only has 3 shells because he helped other guys to kill Freedom. That's why Papa Pavian is gonna join him to take out this corner of the map also. And it will be the positional advantage for Utopia. Great positional advantage. They're chasing the guns now of Savage Squad. So they lost 2 guys now, but Luti Pavlo should fall, Latencer should fall, and that will leave 3 guys of Savage Squad against 4 of Utopia.
Can Danny pull out a massive hit here on a tank and perhaps bring back things closer as Ski 1 takes one out onto Mucka? Still with a lot of HP here. Can make it perhaps work for him in the Mouse. Danny still has a lot of HP to go through in his Type 5 Heavy. Just as I say that here, it does take a hit, however. And Raven as well in this STRV. This is when the problem of the STRV starts coming in, and a city map is not a tank you want to fight in close proximity.
Bihu is fully reloaded. He's gonna do a clip winner again, but Sky1 missed his point-blank shot that gives an open hands to Bihu to just clip him out. Even Muka with Dead Amorek did it. So Sky1 is gonna fall. He was pretty much the anchor of his team, and Utopia is really doing a magnificent number of Savage Squad here.
Papa Pavian now with the triple kill as Raven came around the back to try and get some shots in, but the STRV-103B is, well, a great tank to sit back on the red line and shoot with, but is a horrible tank to try and brawl up close with. Only Danny and Raven left from his team, and Raven showing exactly why this tank is rubbish as he gets hit in the side immediately. In siege mode, the tank is not maneuverable at all. Who in Utopia is going to pick up extra kills is Hunty now picking up a double kill. Only Danny left for his team. Papa Palin, Biku, Mucka, and Hunty surviving for Utopia. And well, Danny, 420 damage, then 430. No fires yet, but he's down now to 187. And it's Biku picking up the kill there. Utopia taking both rounds of Ghost Town and leading this match 2-0.
Good read by Utopia, seeing the open lower flank of Savage Squad. Savage Squad had a really good defense on the upper cap. As I said, that would be a suicide. But they saw there is a great distance between Freedom in 50B and Latencer in a corner. So they sacrificed a lot of HP. They did a risky push with 3 mouses over the middle to attract their attention. They were waiting. There was a report that Latencer is shooting. I said, like, Bihu will wait all the time. He will wait, and he will come, and he will wipe out the damage. And look at this, almost 5K. And he's the last guy who entered the fight.
5K in the back chat, just showing the flexibility and the rotation potential that tank can do to get round and get shots in when everyone else is playing slow heavies. Mucka in a 5A, doing 3.1 there, really nicely done. Papa Pavin, though, in his IS-7, picking up 3 kills for his team, quite vital. Super vital for me as well, Mojo, because he's in my fantasy team.
That's good for you, man. But he plays only 2 matches.
It doesn't matter. The people who get 2 matches can easily still get more points than the people with 3 matches.
Nah.
Well,
dream on.
Well, they'll get more points than what Daki will get in his team.
That's debatable.
Ding only had 2 matches. They lost 1, they won 1.
Yeah, of course, but that's all debatable.
Now we're going to go into Runeberg.
Utopia also lost last match.
Yeah, but you know,
if
you're saying, like, you know, if they can't do it, then surely if a team loses 1 and wins 1, they're going to lose points more. But it doesn't matter. I don't have all my players of Utopia, whereas Daki has all his players of Ding.
Okay.
Now going into Runeberg, we were kind of surprised a bit from this. Both teams not exactly having fantastic results in it. Both actually playing Runeberg very little, to be honest. So I don't know how this one can go, to be honest. It could easily be 2-0 for one team. It could easily be a 1-1. It's not one to predict.
Either let's go 1-1 or some kind of surprise tactics.
Some crazy, yeah, some crazy stuff perhaps coming out here. Some very copy pasta tactics, looking at how other teams are doing it and trying to apply the same thing.
Well, attack from the Savage Squad looks really similar to what Kazna did, if you remember. 5 I7s instead of 4 though. A TVP and a Bachat. So that's a straightforward push tactics. There is no kind of mind games with this one. And on the other hand, Utopia has a rotational setup also. I didn't have a chance to see all the tanks there.
So Fosh B, I noticed in there the lineup for Utopia.
Okay, he's to monitor the crossing.
So Savage Squad, they're on the blue side on attack. Utopia on the red side defending. Savage Squad immediately going through the middle of the town. Utopia driving down to kind of deal with this. Papa Powan and his Fosh could be vital actually coming back in once they, and already look at this Papa Powan kind of moving over ever so slightly. The tanks are spotted. How much damage here can be done from Utopia as they shoot into tanks of Savage Squad? So far, not much, Mojo.
Yeah, only 2 shots coming in, which is rather 3, never mind, a bit 4, 5. Oh, there is a farm coming in. Shuko and Stepanek are going really full speed, trying to take over the upper area. Shuko will be in a great danger, so will Stepanek, because his turret can be penned. These I7s need to clinch in before the 50Bs reload.
Papa Pavin up in the northern map's going to start moving down. Stepanek now is going to try and duel out Latenza here, and it looks like Ski1 down in his bottom corner. But as Biku can get some crossfire shots into Latenza, dropping him down really low, but in return, Stepanek is getting dropped down really low, as is Shoku, who's down in a one-shot. Shoku's the first one down, Luti Pavlo getting the kill, so Utopia have lost the first tank, losing a Batchat. Savage Squad still in the fight right now with half their tanks on full HP, half of them absolutely battered right now.
1K advantage here for Utopia. It's pretty constant, but the 50Bs will come off the reload rather soon, and the pain will come again. The pain will come again in that moment.
Papa Pavin coming in as well with a full reload now. Mucka and Biku taking lots of damage here from Utopia. Let's listen into the TeamSpeak of Savage Squad to where they battle this one out.
4 seconds.
You have to go in.
No, I finished.
Go in.
Fosh is here. Fosh is here.
This guy shoot.
2 damage. Fosh minus 2. Fosh minus 3. 3. Fosh minus 4.
This guy's still alive.
Reload 20 seconds.
Paulo, go
Yeah.
back.
Okay, I think we need to repush him because like 50p and 4 and they're reloading.
Let's go.
Let's
I'm
put
reloading.
Tough super.
Let's...
Man, this Bacharov died so fast, man. Fucking missed. I missed fucking first
Stop,
shot.
stop, Sky. Stop.
So yeah, triple kill coming out there for Steroids at the end. Ski1 now the only one left for his team. He gets dropped by Hunty, and Utopia taking that one less than 3 minutes, Mojo, after it all started.
Still, it is a defensive round where it was aggressively played by Savage Squad. They had idea what to do, but Utopia just outgunned them a bit with those 50Bs. Bihu found brilliant angles to help his teammates in a corner. Otherwise, I think it would actually be a lost game.
Yeah, they were so close to getting pushed there at that stage. Papa Pavin coming out there, Fosh B, picking up 2 kills as well. The minute he came right back into it, you could hear Savage Squad's comms trying to count down the shots, but almost like every time he was counting down, it was like somebody was dying.
Fosh is again a dirty vehicle. Like before, it was completely overpowered because it was just too fast, too armored, and the gun was just too vicious.
Just 3 shots back
so
then
it was over-nerfed and it was useless in any possible way, just absolutely useless. And with this buff, it's okay. It's not too fast, it's good. But the main advantage of this fork now is like 2 seconds of interclip. So when you're clipping those 6 shells, you have only 2 seconds between.
Yeah.
And when you catch one guy, if you manage to track him, he stays there. He just stays there.
Gone in an instant. Runeberg, yeah, sometimes it is a tough map for teams, and it looks like it's going to be a map that perhaps Savage Squad might want to just cross off the planning list as well. Utopia now sitting in a lead 3-0. Could potentially be going up here 4-0 onto match point. But, well, Savage Squad can always come back into it. We did say we might expect some shenanigans, some unusual stuff. But, yeah, it's not going well at all for Savage Squad so far.
Well, 3-0, not going well. Yes, you might say that. But now they're defending on Ruinberg, so they have a chance to at least take 1 game. We will see how that goes because, of course, nothing is given. You have to actually win the games yourself and take them.
I spy lots of, no, I say 2 autoloaders, so at least 2 50Bs here for Savage Squad. Utopia bringing at least 2 Maus as well.
The only thing going for Savage Squad here, they actually have a 100% win rate on defense.
Okay, let's have a look at these lineups. Fosh B again for Papa Palvin, so Utopia taking a Fosh B on attack with him this
Papa
time.
is in love.
Savage Squad bringing out Mouse, double IS7, 113, double 50B, and then Latenza in the back chat.
No.
It's very spread out attack here from Utopia.
Yes, you might really say that.
It's like I don't know, it's just guys scatter. It almost looks like. Wow, what is the plan here for Utopia, Mojo?
They're gonna try to attract attention to the lower cap and actually pressure the cap on the other one, the upper one. I guess, because they're keeping Stepanek not spotted in his mouse all the time. So my bet is they're gonna try to cap it, but that's really risky. That's why all these tanks on the lower line are actually not progressing too much, so they can't get caught.
Look at Papa Palvin sneaking along the red line
Stepanek
here in
is
the
spotted
key line.
now.
Are they gonna, okay.
It is a possibility they are provoking the enemy to counter-attack them lower, so they can use that Fosh and Hunti who is hidden, so they can just kill those tanks while they're keeping Stepanek and Shuku rather safe there.
Papa Pavin just lurking around this bottom area. Ski1 and Danny over in this area. If anyone rolls over that road, they are dead.
There goes Steroids and Muka are here in a window. Muka takes a
Nice
big
shot
shot
there
from
from
Alpha.
Alpha.
Nice connection, a snapshot here. Penning i7 there, not the easiest one in the world,
Papa
but he
Pavin
did it.
spotted now from that area.
And Raven again taking first damage in his team.
Oh!
Same like in last match on Ruinberg, he's getting decimated in a start.
Raven peeking there and getting shot quite a hell of a lot there in return for that. He only fired out 1 shot himself. Now fires it, he's actually going in immediately on a reload. Freedom now moving up into the same position as where his teammate Raven was. And that's going to be a bit of a hard lesson learned for Raven.
If you remember a match against Kazna when he was in an open field, he was on first caught and he ended up on 200 HP from the start. Hunti, on the other hand, with his mouse, is decimated. Never mind, deleted.
Alpha picking up the kill there onto Hunty, so whatever Utopia have planned here, they need to be very careful because their HP is being bled right now. And Savage Squad, to be honest, other than Raven taking damage, are in complete control because nobody else is taking damage. Alpha's only taking a slight damage here, and his mouse, and everyone else is just like, this is fun, guys. Who are we going to shoot next?
Utopia is definitely stuck now. Shuku is doing a desperation round.
Oh! Eliminated. Absolutely eliminated trying to move over that area. Latenza and also Luti Pavel were just waiting for that. Steroids is trying to push up here. Mucka's trying to push up here into the middle. This is it. Utopia, let's try and listen into their comms and see how they're going to react here.
Nie dam rady. Nie dam rady, co ty?
Mielibyśmy 30, to byśmy set.
Nie wiem,
Może od razu tego mausa przejechali, jakbyśmy mieli info, że tam są 2 isy.
Dobra, to wiadomo. Dobra.
Zrób ten czołg. Kurde, lepiej,
Robię.
a nie.
Dobra. Na ruskim grałem.
Pozdrawiam streama!
O,
Trochę nam nie pykło.
Witam w patologii.
To trochę dobry line-up, kurde, no.
to Paweł.
Rudy się nie dostał.
To jest.
Aha.
Ja mam 10 sekund.
Ja też.
Możemy ich robić.
Tak, kierujemy.
Dobry, naprawdę.
Czekaj, daj
Greetings
mi
to sexy
spróbuję.
Angelina from Russian stream.
Ty rób tu Paweł, ja długo Paweł. Jeszcze to wygrałem.
A jak bym zaczął trafiać.
Fajnie to wygląda, jakby przebiło tu aż taka cała rysa po całym czołgu.
No. Jakby dostał, nie wiem. Jakby się spodził.
Mogłem tego
So Utopia's team comes there. They aren't all Polish team, but there's a little shout out there for everyone watching at home. They're in good spirits. I mean, they knew they lost that one, and they just kind of like, well, okay, you know.
Well,
This is done and
Greenberg
dusted.
is definitely their best map, not. So that was expected. They tried something, didn't work out. Okay, let's go. Next map. Hi, stream. Hi, mom. Everyone.
Yeah, they were nice and happy and cheery that time. It was good to hear. I mean, you know, sometimes teams are like super like, bad chat could there, oh, what happened there? But you know, they lost and they were happy with it. They were okay with it.
Happy not, but
Well,
on.
they were okay. They knew. Alpha, 3 kills. Luti Pavel 1 kill, but you know, 4.2 on each of them. Nicely done.
no, the farm on that mouse in the start of the game was insane. Pretty much like the guy just deleted from the map, and then the Shuku trying to do a desperation Usain Bolt run over the
Yeah.
open field.
Don't worry, guys, I
Didn't
got
happen.
it.
Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Just didn't
Um,
happen.
Done in seconds, and after they lost those 2 tanks, that forced Utopia into having to make a move, and having lost 2 tanks already, and pretty much Savage Squad having no damage done in return, that was always going to be over fairly quickly after that. Now we're going to go into Sand River. Utopia still in the lead here, 3-1. Savage Squad can play about a bit here on Sand River. Utopia can play about a bit in Sand River. Pretty sure we're going to see Mucka in either, I think he's going to see it in the Ryan Borsig on the defensive round. He seems to favour that tank. Utopia seem to use it quite a lot.
Oh, we will see. This is a map that actually both of these teams can do decent, so there is a lot of possibilities. 1-1 looks like the most probable choice for me here, but there is other versions that can happen, of course, if someone has a good surprising tactic. The thing is, most of the teams now got a good grasp how to defend Sand River. In the start, it was really hard, a lot of mistakes by every team, really hard for them to keep up with defense, but now it's different. Ho ho ho, we have attack with Dani in 261, and this looks like a setup that Rush was using like a few weeks ago
Go down the
on
bottom.
CIS, and they were playing with that 261 to deal with one specific position of one heavy tank.
They
I'm
did
really
this.
interesting to see will it actually work in this game.
They did this on Thursday.
Yes, that's honestly.
They did this on Thursday against Isuba, and they capped, and there was still 7 tanks on each side, and Isuba had no way to come in and actually spot or do anything on the base. So I wonder if Utopia have been doing their homework on this one, because it was a
they're not
fairly
sending a
easy
heavy
cap.
tank down. They're not sending a heavy tank down.
Oh.
It's mediums they're sending, which is smart because it was a heavy tank. It would be just a free farm. Also, there is another thing you can do. Oh, yeah, they tried to do a fast pot and shots there on Dani. They almost actually hit. There is another thing you can do with that 261.
Hunty, nice driving.
Other
Straight into
than
the back of
shooting,
Shamanic.
they can actually use him as a block.
So yeah, Utopia have read this one completely, and have completely cut off Savage Squad from that bottom cap. This is what Daki was talking about, the danger of it. If any kind of fighting happens, you have the danger that you have one guy on artillery who then becomes a burden in a way because he can't contribute to the fight. And already Utopia said, we know what you're going to try and do, so we're just going to push up our defensive line around the base number 1, and good luck pushing into it now.
It's a decent control here by Utopia, but they are taking
HP.
some damage for all this pleasure because they are far back. That's the problem. And this position is the crucial one here for Savage Squad, but that's expected. It's expected that someone like Alpha will be there because it's super hard to counter it unless you approach it, and he can just shoot freely anyone who is down there.
So I got my reads wrong on the defensive round. Mucka's actually in an IS-7, where normally you'd see him like in a Rhine Panzer doing the climb, but Utopia having to reposition themselves because there is shots coming in from Savage Squad. There is always that threat of artillery as well that can just chip away and do stun damage. It can signal the start of a push because you can get a bunch of tanks stunned up at the same time. It can be really terrible actually once the push comes.
This game is not going well for Utopia at the moment. They bled a lot of HP and they didn't really do anything. Still, they have one more normal gun in the game that is not an RT, but if they keep losing the ground, RT will actually come to effect. So far I haven't seen a single good shot by RT.
It's not really landed anyone directly, no. I mean, and this is the other thing, is that they can't push around the top of the map to try and do any kind of counterplay because Alpha will just spot everyone out when that happens and he's in a position where he can move safely after he gets a shot off as well. Papa Powan now taking
This is the first connection by RT.
Mucka and Latenza going to face off here. Mucka's going to peek. Latenza might decide to take a couple of shots, so I might just back off and not take any.
It's a serious problem here for Utopia because they actually don't know what is behind Latencer. Latencer just managed to go there in this defilade. This is a really nice addition to Sand River, I would say, because there you can play some cooldowns. And if there is enough forces here from Savage Squad on that corner, and it does look like they're unspotted completely coming there, they're just going to delete Muka and whoever's behind it.
Muka gets a shot onto Luti Pavlo, but Luti's going to continue to push. He's the 5A, he's going to take the brunt of this one, and then Latenza and Ski 1 are going to come round the back. Muka taking a hit already. He doesn't really have support. It looks like actually Papa Pavan is behind him, but Papa Pavan doesn't have a lot of HP to trade, and Muka is continuing to take shots as he tried to back around the corner. The IS-7 has great frontal armor as a peak, but there was a shot. You saw the marker as well from Danny saying, this is where I'm going to drop a shell, and he does so right on top of Papa Pavan's head. Muka cannot get the IS-7 armor to work well when he's backing off around the corner like that.
There you go, there is a cavalry coming in. This is going to be all or nothing here for Utopia. They're coming in for a brawl, trying to save Muka. Muka is still alive. That's a crucial moment because RT cannot actually hit here. If they overmatch Savage Squad here, they can actually still win a game.
Now, Luti gets dropped by Steroids. Latenza can't help anymore. He's in a reload. He's backing off. Utopia are going to drop down Key 1, so he's going to go down. Savage Squad have lost 2 IS-7s. Utopia are going to continue to brawl here. They're bloodied and bruised, but are going to continue fighting. Savage Squad need to make the remaining tanks come back into this fight because Savage Squad effectively only have 4 tanks. Danny is in an object. He's in long reloads, and if he doesn't connect with these shots, it's going to cause real bad problems. Latenza and Raven now taking damage from Savage Squad. Danny's just about to come off reload. Who can he hit? How much damage can he do?
Freedom and Alpha are the only guys with any kind of shells and HP for Savage Squad that can do damage at the moment. Raven, maybe one more shell and then he's done. Latencer has to run for his life. And then it will be RT and those 2 Bachats. But Utopia does have 7 guys in the game.
Alpha, mate, get into this fight. You've got 5 shots left. Now he starts actually shooting into someone. Utopia still have all 7 guns available ever so slightly right now. Hunty surviving on 8 HP, but still 7 guns to Savage Squad's 4, including Danny in their artillery. Alpha took a very long time to come round into that fight. He's at the top of the map. He is separated from the rest of his team. He's coming over now beside Freedom, but he has no angles on the remaining tanks of Utopia. Savage Squad leading with the team HP at the moment, but not leading with the guns.
They have Alpha they can effectively use in this game, but the rest is really on low HP, same as Utopia. They're trying to make a distance. Nice connection here by Dani. Important to lower the number of dead guns. Important that they still have that art in the game. If Utopia realizes that they are all gone and they left Dani alone, well, it's gonna be one Savage Squad guy less. But if they manage to run away, especially with Artie, they still have a fighting chance here, no matter the lower number of the guns, because on the other side, Utopia have pretty much everyone on one shot except 2 or 3 guys.
Oh, this is bold. So they're going up to Cap, try and draw people up north. Freedom sitting in here. He is fully loaded. We have Alpha with him as well, fully loaded. Latenza now coming over into that area. And Latenza is fully loaded. If they force Utopia to come up here, if Utopia go in, they can just pick them off one at a time if they manage their shots well here. There's also always the threat of Danny being able to get shots. It's kind of vital that Steroids and Mucka try and find him right now, Mojo.
Danny is already fighting with Stepanek, lowering his HP, killing his driver because he's the open tank there. But still, Savage Squad does have to deal with all these guns. Never mind, one less. 5 to go, and there is 4 of them. Disadvantage is actually starting to be a really crucial one because there is cap pressure going on, and there is still the matter of 3 Bachats in the game next to an Artie. And Artie will be a constant problem.
Shupanic just getting a shot there into Alpha. That's very good because Alpha did have all the HP. Now Alpha has very little HP. Nice shot there from Danny, 360. At what stage is Alpha say Freedom coming into the cap with you? Latenza is there beside him as well. He can perhaps get some shots off, and it's really just a holding play right now from Savage Squad. Can they survive? Can they hold off the tanks from Utopia? Because only Shupanic and Papa Pavin can come over and do a reset. Latenza getting the kill on Shupanic. That's a huge kill. They need to try and drop Papa Pavin. Oh, Danny almost coming off reload there. Could have perhaps shotgunned into Mucka, but it was Steroids getting the kill. What can these tanks, what can Freedom and Alpha do? Papa Pavin's going to just rush in and sacrifice himself. He needs to get vision. They didn't kill Papa Pavin. He kills Freedom. Papa Pavin, oh sorry, Biku then drops Alpha, and only Latenza is left here now for Savage Squad. Right to the wire there, Latenza now getting the kill on Papa Pavin. Going to come off and trade a little bit with Biku. Close but no cigar there from Savage Squad.
What a drama game we had just here. What a drama game. Like 1 or 2 shots that would happen by our team, maybe more, would completely decide it in Savage Squad. They didn't see the rotation coming in from Utopia. That was a full gamble by them. They just rolled the dice. They was like, guys, we have to do this. We must do it. And they managed to win a game by that single move. That was a desperation moment for Utopia, and it worked out completely because Savage Squad was called with their pants down. You could see STRV was like even aimed with his side to them in that moment. So really, really decent play there, but I would say problems on both sides here. Savage Squad not completely monitoring the area, not watching the rotations. On other side, Utopia losing so much HP on the start of the game, carelessly pushing in, trying to go below them, and just not paying attention that Savage Squad will be trenched up and waiting for something like that.
That push was actually real interesting in the bottom corner because Mokka looked like he was dead. Like, Mokka was pretty much dead for rights. Papa Pavin was behind him. Papa Pavin was already on less than half HP. And then Utopia, just like you said, roll the dice. Okay, guys, just all push in. Latenza in the back chat backed off. He's like, hey, guys, I'm clipped out. And then the 2 single shooters like, nuts, we're going to get focused now.
I think it was a huge mistake there by Savage Squad not biting in to kill the I7 there. There was only 1 bot shot covering him. Of course, they couldn't have known that well. But still, if they kill that I7, they will win the game.
I mean, Danny did try to get the connection into Papa Pavin, but
it doesn't matter. Like they didn't kill them. They didn't kill anyone like this. And now they're down 4-1, 4-1 for Utopia, and Utopia will be attacking now.
Yep, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Now Utopia doing a similar tactic. They're bringing Object 261. They're bringing the bat chats.
Oh, but they have 5 budgets. They have 5 budgets.
So could they just try and rush this one?
They have 5 budgets, so they have a lot of potential to spot, and they have that one I7 they need as an anchor. So this is, in my eyes, actually a better setup to do something like this. Because you can always out-rotate and just abandon RT and go another cap as you saw.
Yep, and in previous seasons we always highlighted Papa Pavin as being a fantastic RT player, but now Utopia have Steroids in the lineup, and Steroids is also additionally a fantastic artillery player, and he seems to be now the main artillery player.
Yes, because Papa Pavin is playing all the tanks really well now, so he really doesn't have to play the RT all the time. He's more than capable to do it.
Yep.
Raven is being climbed up. This is rather standard what we've seen. You can climb between 2 or 3 tanks. I can't say I really like that, because if he gets spotted and Steroid sees him, and there is a couple of other angles that STRV can be dealt with, it's kind of old-fashioned defense. Danny is already paying the price, losing some HP here to RT, nothing big, 200, but still.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that position where Raven is before with, I think it was Hulknick and Ding getting absolutely pummeled up in that area. An area that a lot of teams know that somebody's generally going to be up once in a while. Now, Utopia on attack, red side, Savage Squad, blue side defending. We're looking here at the viewpoint of Hunty and Shupanic just moving down to where we had that massive brawl in the previous round. Latenza already ahead for his team, trying to counter spot, actually getting shot at there by artillery. 302 damage, is going to survive that one, sorry, 320 damage, and just continue fighting. But yeah, already some kind of speculative shots coming out there for Steroids and getting some damage in different tanks.
Really fast advance here by Utopia, but you could expect that having 5 budgets. They're exploring the positions of Savage Squad a lot, but let us not forget they don't really have the cooldown of any kind. Savage Squad actually had to move a lot of tanks up on the upper side of the map because they were scared a huge push by budgets on the lower side would just annihilate them. And I'm not sure is that the best solution here, because they would deal with the upper cap much easier than with the lower one.
Yeah, I mean, Utopia now on match point. 4-1 here. Utopia are not going to do anything too risky. I mean, they are the attacking side. They have to either capture base 1 or base 2, or they have to kill everyone in Savage squads.
What they're doing is already risky because they're playing with the 5 budgets and Arty.
Raven being spotted by Arty. This could could hurt him more than
click,
could hurt
click,
anyone
click,
else. Viewpoint change there from Steroids as the shot comes in.
That's a connection.
Raven gets hit. Fairly decent actually amount there. And yeah, Steroids is continuing to chip away at the HP of Utopia. Sorry, of Savage Squad.
7 minutes to go. 2 connections by Arty so far. And Shuku is the only guy who took any damage for Utopia. He's needed here as a bait and as a proxy spotter for his team. So he will, opala, stay there. There is new info coming in. Okay, there is a heavy tank on my right side. But Dani is taking a shot from Arty for that. But that's also not that important because he's also an I7. At the end of the day, it's going to have to be some kind of push by Utopia, cap pressure, or a pure push. Maybe both in the same time because he have a lot of budgets.
Yeah, and if they continue to just light up people off Savage Squad, and Steroids can just continue. I mean, we've seen this before. Sometimes the teams take artillery, it's not enough. Sometimes the artillery just doesn't have enough time to be able to do damage or can't actually land any big shots.
He's not doing enough. And the damage is spread on several guys, not on one guy, which would be an ideal in this kind of situation.
Try and get one on Alpha on the move. This will be a bold shot if you can land this one, Steroids. Very bold shot.
And he can... Oh, let's see, maybe.
Oh! Sets him on fire as well! Steroids, take a bow, laddie. Thank you for showing us that you can land a shot like that.
It split Alpha pretty much in half here. Not the best scenario for them, but still, Savage Squad has 1500 HP more and 7 proper guns in the game, not an RNG-based Arty. So we will see how it go here, because at the end of the day, Utopia will have to commit somewhere and do something more significant than just spotting, because time is ticking away. 5.5 minutes to go.
Excluding the fire damage there, that shows the difference between the good artillery players and the lucky artillery. Okay, he got lucky with the fire damage, but you could see the aiming, the pre-aiming as to where he expected the tank to be. And even when Alpha slammed on the brakes, still it was Steroids had guessed it perfect.
Slammed on the brakes? No, he was stopped in tracks by a hit. He didn't stop himself. Eldani taking some more damage by Arty here. 5 minutes to go. I guess they can spend maybe 1 shell more by Arty 2 max, but they have to commit now because they need reloads and rotations and everything. So they're putting their all chips on upper side of the map. Maybe they will try to push Alpha and Dani and try to deal with them because they're not the best covered by the rest of the team. This is a big push coming in.
Hyper-aggressive push here coming in for Utopia. They're sending up the 3 Batchats, backing up Shoku here. Looks like they're trying to get an overmatch into someone. Shoku's taking a lot of damage for it, though. He's down to 615 HP, but Muka, Shipanic, and Hunty, they're going to come round. They're going to look for someone to kill. Alpha's backed off round the corner. Shipanic taking a bit of damage as he goes round here. And, well, Utopia trying to get control of this top cap, and that's where Savage Squad are already defended up. So I guess Luti Pavlo and Latenza are going to come round the back, and Utopia might have just actually driven himself into a surround.
Raven's taking more damage and more, and he's gonna probably fall. 24 health left on him, but he's still alive. Utopia did manage to take the ground here, but they're now in a problem because Kaiwan is the main problem for them. They need to take care of him. They need to take care of him or they're gonna get annihilated by the rest of the forces of Savage Squad.
Alpha coming back round here, getting a drop on Shipanic. Look at this, Luti, Dani, and Alpha can just come round into these tanks of Utopia, push forward. And like I says, they got themselves surrounded here. Now they need to just pick a direction, try and fight their way back out. Utopia have now lost 3 tanks. They've lost an IS-7, they've lost 2 Batchats. Savage Squad still have all their guns in the game. Okay, some of them have taken damage, but you still have Luti with all his HP, who can just lead the charge for his team right now. Not going well at all for Utopia. In fact, I don't think there's any way of them coming back from this one, Mojo. They've only got 3 tanks left. Savage Squad still have 6 guns available in the game. They've only lost Alpha and their Batchat, and this looks like it's going to be going 4-2. Utopia not actually taking the win just yet.
Nah, this was not the best execution ever. They were expecting to catch someone off guard on the upper part where Dani and Alpha were, but the call from Savage Squad was correct. They moved away instantly, and they left so that their team had a really good crossfire. Now Steroids is pretty much the last guy left for Utopia. Only thing we can wait for here is for Savage Squad to find where he is and eliminate him. And the next map we're gonna watch will be Cliff.
Okay, Cliff. Not really. I mean, it's one of Savage Squad's most least played maps. Utopia currently leading 4-2. If Utopia win this mojo, that's mean you're going to be 2 for 2 for predictions for the night. I don't think any of us casters have ever got 2 predictions in a row. Maybe Daki actually did one night.
I think Ducky did
when
one
he
night when he was casting with me.
when he wore his magic tie.
In the first one.
The magic sparkly tie. Daki's magic prediction tie. Sturoy's going to go down any second here. Latenza picking up the triple kill for his team. And 4-2 Utopia, Savage Squad picking up that round on Sand River. Second round there, 1 for 1.
Yeah, they tried again some new tactics here. Okay, but it didn't work out. I didn't have a feeling that that Sand River and Ruinberg both were actually practiced well in attack side. Definitely.
Yeah, not convincing. Ski 1 doing fantastic damage there, pretty much 3.8. Picking up a kill as well. Papa Pavin trying to hang in there for his team along with Steroids on artillery, which is quite impressive. But really, that push from Utopia just kind of, okay, went up, but then the rotation came back round from Savage Squad and Utopia just got themselves surrounded.
They were stopped in their tracks already. They lost after they didn't find anyone to kill. That's it. They were already trapped and killed.
Yeah.
As I said, like they were in crossfire by heavy tank. They couldn't damage, and everyone else from every possible angle who could just come into them. Butchers have no armor, so unless they really clip out fast someone, that's it. You're dead.
Now moving into Cliff, Utopia are going to be the team starting off on the attack. Savage Squads are going to be the team defending. Utopia sometimes, we've seen them play this great. We've seen this play them terrible, to be honest. A bit of driving out in the middle sometimes. I don't know. I think Utopia attack. I think Savage Squad might be able to take the defensive round. And if Utopia are going to win it, they're going to win it on the defense.
You just want me to mess up my score?
No, I'm 5-2 as well. I'm 5-2 as well, but I don't know. I don't know if Utopia can initially do it here on the attack.
Well, we will see. It's all up to them. So far, attacks from Utopia were not really on point today. Not that much. Except on Ghost Town. That was an interesting one. But that was just a brawl map. And a good decision.
Yeah, it's a lot more open map here, Cliff. Usually a lot of the play for Cliff revolves around the Lighthouse teams trying to get hill control. A mobile lineup here. Mobile lineup from both teams. Raven in that STRV though. Daki always joking about Raven, you know, down to 20% HP in the first couple of minutes. Positioning for him is going to be vital. Probably going to be down at A5, I think the area is, and then the other one is at...
I don't think there will be anything standard in this game because Utopia has 5
B1
visits.
or something, yeah. So Raven's position going to be interesting. I think he's probably going to go for A5.
Utopia is really, really experimenting quite a lot in this game because I've seen this kind of tactic played before and I didn't like it because it's one-sided, and if it doesn't work, you're just stuck with a lot of tanks on one position.
Utopia sending all the 5As down 1-2 line. Luti should be able to see this. Alpha and Ski 1 taking up positions on the Lighthouse. All the tanks from Utopia that went down low were spotted. No damage coming in there from Luti. Luti's immediately on a reload. Didn't actually connect any shots there.
I don't really grasp what is behind this tactic because unless they make such a perfect crossfire with these visits to actually use them for something, they're rather useless. They're single shooters against clippers who can run away, hide on a lot of places. So playing with only TVP and a budget for mediums, that's rather bold because visits have to take the brunt of the damage. They have to spot themselves and so on. I really don't like it, and I actually think there is a high chance Savage Squad will pick up this round.
You can see the viewpoint of Mocha starting to climb up onto the Lighthouse. Raven in a perfect position here to start farming damage on any tanks that decide to push around E4 area. You can already see him starting to snap some shots out. Biku for Utopia has already taken some damage. Nobody in Savage Squad has taken any damage yet. Savage Squad does actually have quite a light lineup. There's like almost 2k difference in the base HP here for both teams, but Ski 1 now up on this Lighthouse area. He's going to take control of the area, and it's really up to Utopia how can they actually make some kind of play here because, well, they're the attacking team, Mojo. What are they trying to get from this?
Lose a lot of HP on heavy tanks, as I said.
I mean, they're not in a position where they can make a play for base 1. They're definitely not in a position where they can make a play for base 2. So they're going to try and force out a fight.
Well, they're trying to
But
climb
Utopia
Muka.
have the position play for that.
The only thing that can actually deal with this game is if Muka gets up on a hill and he pushes the budget down, and then they can do some kind of pressure with the rest of the tanks. But if he doesn't climb up, entire team is useless.
Oh, connection into Raven there.
It's blind shot.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's firing blind shots into his area, but a bit surprised for one to connect. There's multiple places they can kind of be in that area. Try and make it a bit harder for them to guess.
There go, Muka is coming up in a cooldown really soon. Shuku and Papa Pavian are gonna close in, so they have a crossfire between two angles. I kind of have a feeling that Savage Squad left hill under-defended. In my eyes, they should have controlled that side already and have had boots on the ground already below.
Shoku and Papa Pavan actually going to come up and do the climb as well. They can be covered by their teammates all along the F line. They could go quite aggressive here if they can keep Raven distracted, and then Shoku and Papa Pavan push over and drop.
Bihu taking more damage.
Shupanic taking damage as well. Damaged Amarak repairs that one immediately. Yeah, this might work, but the timing's going to be super critical here from Utopia.
Papa Pavian and Shuku, a risky move, but if they actually jump on Sky1, there is no one who can help him.
Yeah, I mean, the only person with shots there, I mean, Danny's just moving up into a different position as well, but if Raven keeps his attention over to where Steroids and Shupanic are...
Not even Raven can shoot up there, because there is a little defilade, so if they actually catch him where he is now, he's gonna fall for nothing.
What's Danny and Freedom doing as well from their position?
Driving in circles, as far as I can see.
It just looks like he's moving back and forward on the minimap. I think Danny and Freedom are perhaps smelling something. Latenza taking a hit there in his Batchat. It's going to force him back a little bit. Raven has taken yet more damage from his position. Hunty is spotted moving across there on the backline, so that's going to let Savage Squad know that Utopia is backing off from that area, that they don't have all their 5As over there anymore.
I don't really get it. Like, Savage Squad gave so much ground for free to Utopia and chickened out to play the VZs.
All the tanks at the lighthouse now are spotted.
Like, they should have guessed that there will be some pressure with at least one heavy on the lighthouse. Sky1 took another shell here, but still, yeah, Savage Squad is defending, so once Utopia decides to commit, there will be a huge crossfire, and it's going to be a problem for Utopia to deal with it.
Now, looking at the team hit points at the moment, Utopia have roughly about a 3k lead over Savage Squads. Utopia have only taken damage on Biku's 5A, on Steroids 5A, and Shupanic's 5A. For Savage Squad, they've taken Latenza, he's down to almost half health in his Batchat. Raven's down to half health in his STRV 103. And Ski1 down to half health pretty much in his Batchat 25 as well.
Look how much they surrounded Ski1. Like, they're gonna push him really soon because he has nowhere to run. There is a crossfire coming in from 3 sides now on him. Wherever he peeks, he's gonna get shot.
Nice shot there from Steroids. You have Hunty below him. You have Mucka over the front and top. He's taking a shot there from Raven, 379. Unlucky with the roll there. But Ski1 going down to Hunty. First kill of this round going to Utopia, who are sitting in 4-2 lead right now. And this might be the beginning of the end, Mojo, for Savage Squad.
It does look like Savage Squad is throwing this round. 3k HP advantage for Utopia now. All 7 guns in the game. 4 minutes left till the end of the game. So they have potential to do whatever. You cannot play passive against such a lineup. They had the speed, they had mobility to do whatever they wanted on a map and control it much better than they did.
This is nice play from Hunty, able to get all the way around the side of the map, try and get some crossfire shots into where Danny is playing at the moment. And fires one out, doesn't connect. Shoku and Papa Powan above him. We've seen this from Papa Powan before. If he goes over, it might work. If he doesn't, he'll get absolutely punished for it. He fires off a couple of blind fire shots where Latenza was. 2 shots out, might go on a reload here as he backs off. Shoku behind him with a full clip ready to go. Papa Powan actually just going to continue and blind fire out his full clip. Danny has a shot coming at him from Shupanic and Biku's area, so Danny's in the crossfire position because Hunty can shoot him in the back as well. So if anyone's going to drop next to take a lot of damage in Savage Squad, I'd say it's Danny. And Raven has taken yet more damage, Mojo, and is only on 10 HP.
He was shot like a minute ago on that. But never mind, still, he is really low on HP, and Utopia is closing in slowly. 3 minutes left. The final push will come any second.
This is it coming in now. Danny is the focus fire, as Shoku is going to push him out and getting the kill. Savage Squad are going to try and fight back with all they can to try and focus into Shepanik of Utopia, but he's still surviving for now. But as Latenza picking up that kill, Mucka's going to come down now on top of Alpha's going to perhaps ram, try and do a bit more damage. Mucka misses. Oh no, he does connect with the ram. Nicely done. He has Hunty to be able to help him out as well, but Mucka actually blocking the shot for his teammate because he's around the other side of Alpha. No shots coming in there at all, really, unfortunately, for Hunty, because, well, Mucka is on the wrong side, but Mucka picking up the kill himself. Raven continuing to try and get shots out before he goes down, but Savage Squad only with 2 tanks left. 1 tank left is Latenza, and this is going to be Utopia 5-2, and, well, further commiserations there for Savage Squad.
Utopia taking those critical points. Latencer is trying to survive for a second more, but it's just not gonna work. 5-2 domination by Utopia in the match. Couple of sloppy attacking round, but still far better than Savage Squad in this game. And crucial points for Utopia again, because they caught up with the guys in the lead. So they're still contending the top 2 spots. We've said before, Utopia is not a team that managed so far to get through playoffs in the offline finals. It's only one time they did it, and they were second, I believe, in online stage.